The patience of Job. In the land of Uz, there lived a man named Job. He was a figure of perfect faith, a man who walked in the light of God, his life a testament to piety. His wealth was the talk of the East, vast herds, sprawling fields, and a legion of servants. His children, 7 sons and 3 daughters, were his greatest treasure, and his days were filled with the golden light of prosperity and peace. He was a man who had everything, and he gave thanks for it all. But this perfect faith was not unnoticed. In the celestial court, where beings of light and shadow convened, the Lord spoke of Job's righteousness. A shadowy figure, Satan, stepped forward, his voice a silken whisper of doubt. "Does Job fear God for nothing?" he sneered. "Have you not put a hedge around him and his house and all that he has? But stretch out your hand and touch all that he has, and he will curse you to your face." The first blow fell like a thunderclap from a clear sky. A messenger, his clothes torn and his face pale with terror, stumbled before Job. The Sabaeans came and took the oxen and the donkeys and killed the servants. Before he had finished, another arrived. The fire of God fell from heaven and burned up the sheep. Then a third. The Chaldeans formed 3 bands and raided the camels and killed the servants. One after another, the pillars of Job's world crumbled into dust. The final messenger arrived, his face a canvas of unspeakable horror. "Your sons and daughters were eating and drinking in their oldest brother's house," he stammered. "And behold, a great wind came across the wilderness and struck the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon them, and they are dead." Job fell to the ground, tearing his robe, the sound of his grief, a raw wound in the sudden terrible silence. Yet even then he did not sin. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In the heavens, Satan presented himself again. "Skin for skin," he taunted. "All that a man has he will give for his life. But stretch out your hand and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse you to your face." And the Lord permitted it. A foul pestilence fell upon Job, covering him from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head with agonizing boils. He became a grotesque parody of the man he once was, an outcast sitting in a pile of ashes. His 3 friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, heard of his calamity and came to him. When they saw him from a distance, they did not recognize him. They wept and sat with him on the ground for 7 days and 7 nights, and no one spoke a word, for they saw that his suffering was very great. But in their silence, judgment was taking root. Finally, the silence was broken. The friends spoke, their words like stones cast at a drowning man. "Think now, who that was innocent ever perished?" Eliphaz asked. "You must have sinned," Bildad insisted. "God is punishing you for some secret evil," Zophar concluded. They picked at his righteousness, certain that such suffering could only be the wage of sin. Job's patience, stretched to its limit, finally snapped, not at God, but at the hollow comfort of his friends. He cursed the day he was born, his voice a raw lament that echoed in the wasteland. He cried out to the heavens, demanding an audience with the Almighty. "Let me speak and he reply," he begged, his faith warring with his despair. "Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, but I will maintain mine own ways before him." Then, out of the tempest, a voice answered, not with explanations, but with power that shook the foundations of the world. A great whirlwind descended, and from its heart the Lord spoke. "Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? Can you bind the chains of the Pleiades?" The voice was not cruel, but it was absolute, a divine torrent that washed away Job's accusations in a flood of cosmic awe. Humbled and silenced, Job repented in dust and ashes. I have heard of you by the hearing of the ear, he whispered, but now my eye sees you. He had not received an answer, but he had received God. And in that there was peace. The Lord healed him, rebuked his friends, and restored his fortunes twofold. He was blessed with a new family, a long life, and a wisdom forged in the deepest fires of suffering, the profound, unshakable knowledge of a God whose ways are not our own,